After roaring back onto the world stage in Novo Mesto na Morave, the UCI Mountain Bike Cross Country Marathon World Cup was back for round 2 in one of the world's must-ride mountain bike destinations, Finale Outdoor Region. The ancient village of Finalborgo would host the race, and although famous for its gravity racing, promised to test the marathon riders with a course that featured some of its most stunning single track. Whereas in the Czech Republic the riders took on 2 loops, in Italy it would be just one huge 100-kilometre long monster with some 3,760 vertical metres of up and down thrown in for good measure. The course left the famous Finalborgo, whose walls date back to the 15th century, before heading east towards Potorno, before turning up into the hills for the super steep ascent to Vado Ligure. After that, the course then ploughed westwards across Rocca di Corvi and Mau Crest, and then descended back towards the sea. Finale Outdoor Region boasts some of the most thrilling trails in Europe, so this one promised to test bike handling as much as endurance. The morning air was already getting humid as the anticipation built.
We got really steep hills, technical descents, really suits me, but in the end you got to be careful. I mean, it's 100 Ks and anything can happen, so even if it suits you, you need to be in full focus mode.
I think it's very good that the courses differ so much. One race is more flat, one race is much more climbing. But yeah, as a mountain biker you have to be good everywhere, so the overall winner should dominate on each of the courses.
Finale Outdoor Region World Cup!
The racers set off men first, ahead of the women's field.
Marathon World Cup!
After the first climb, 2 main groups had formed at the front of the men's race. Wout Alleman led the tightly stacked field into the woods. The winner of the opening round, Fabian Rabensteiner, was in the second group. Adelaide Marat was out the front of the women's race all by herself, and already by a decent margin. Leila Nimšević led the chase. Promoted locally as Italy's most beautiful trail, the Finale Outdoor Region was at its spectacular best for the Marathon World Cup racers. "30 kilometres in and the lead group approached the famous NATO-based trailhead. Fabian Rabensteiner had almost bridged the gap to the front group. Samuele Porro, teammate of Rabensteiner, was not far behind. Morat remained in a race of her own out front. In her wake, Nimšević and Estelle Morel battled on. At the top of Kravarezza Trail, the riders tipped into a fast-flowing sequence of sweeping turns. Rabensteiner had made the catch. Porro was in pursuit. Behind the leading trio, it was Bettina Yanis and Kimberly Lecourt de Bio giving chase. 5 kilometres later, the racers climbed to the top of Monte Alto. Leading out the front group was Lorenzo Samparisi. David Geisling led a huge pack of riders into the tech zone, but with the pace as high as it was, none dared stop. The climb up to Vado Archway was steep, but the view to Vado Ligure was stunning, should anyone have had time to appreciate it. Martin Stosnik was now on his own at the front. 30 seconds behind him, Colombian Diego Alfonso Arias Cuervo was pushing hard to keep him in view. Wout Alleman was close behind. The Italian duo of Rabensteiner and Porro were now in 6th and 7th respectively. Diego Rosa was in the middle of the chasing group. Adelaide Marat was looking relaxed and focused as she crested the climb. She had extended out her lead ahead of Leila Nimšević to 2 minutes 20 seconds. Behind her was Estelle Morel.
Vai, grande, grandissima.
Spingi, spingi, spingi. Go, 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 go.
A technical rock descent loomed. It was essential to get into a good position to allow for the safest passage through the jagged edges. Marek Rockfuss was down in 20th, but was clearly only getting warmed up. As they dropped into Mau Crest, Martin Stosic had built up a lead of 30 seconds over Diego Alfonso Arias Cuervo, with teammates Alleman, Rabensteiner and Porro still chasing. The landscape and views in Finale Outdoor Region are stunning, but again, there wasn't exactly much time to appreciate them. Was Adelaide Marat starting to look tired? She stumbled and got off to walk on a climb. At the 80-kilometre mark, the racers passed through another tech zone, and Diego Alfonso Arias Cuervo had overtaken Martin Stosic.
Not much time. Up, 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 up.
Martin Frey took the opportunity to stretch whilst his mechanic worked on his bike. Adelaide Marat was still in the lead, and Nimšević had gapped Morel. 10 kilometres until the finish line, and the quaint town of Feglino hosted the final tech zone of the day. The tarmac climb out of the village was the last real uphill test. Diego Alfonso Arias Cuervo was absolutely charging up the last climb. Villiers teammates Fabian and Samuele looked like they were joining forces. Adelaide Marat was looking strong. She had a 1 minute 30 second lead ahead of Nimšević at the start of the last climb. Estelle Morel was holding on in third. She had a 40 second lead in the battling Vera Lucer and Kimberly Lecourt de Bio. Final technical descent beckoned. Some riders were now struggling. Diego Alfonso Arias Cuervo pinballed down the final descent. Close behind him was Martin Stosic. If Diego Alfonso Arias Cuervo had been flagging no, the sight of Stosic and co was just the inspiration he needed to light the blue touch paper and get the job done. The Colombian smashed forward to win by over a minute from the Czech rider.
He intentado tener la cabeza del grupo en la primera parte de la carrera porque al ser la carrera muy larga, seguramente la diferencia vendría después de las 3 horas. Y así fue, estábamos a menos 40 kilómetros, todavía un grupo de 12, 15 corredores. Y bueno, ahí era donde se iniciaba a hacer el forcing. Nos hemos ido con Stosek. Y bueno, a menos 10 kilómetros en una bajada lo he dejado un poco y de ahí he abierto todo el gas para llegar a la meta con esta diferencia.
Teammates Fabian Rabensteiner and Poru crossed the line together, having clearly enjoyed the battle. All eyes turned to the women's race, which was still out on course. Could Adelaide Marat hold on? But try as they might, there was no stopping Marat. You make your own luck in cross-country marathon racing, and the German had led from the front all day to take the win ahead of Ninshevich.
It was one of my hardest races in my career. But I also liked the course so much because it was technical, climbing, technical, steep, so real mountain biking. That's what we need in the women or in the marathon sport as well.
Estelle Morel had held third place for the majority of the race, but at the finish line it came down to a sprint. Vera Lucer had closed the gap and was rewarded with the last spot on the podium. In the men's results then, Diego Alfonso Reyes Cuervo opens his account for the season with a win in Finale Outdoor Region, ahead of Martin Stosek and Fabian Rabensteiner. Wout Alleman's hunt for a World Cup win in 2023 continues in 6th, and Mark Stutzman rounded out the top 10. Marat takes the win from Ninshevich and Lucer. Morel was 4th, and Kimberly Lecourt de Bio in 5th. In the men's overall then, Fabian Rabensteiner has the leader's jersey with Martin Stosek needing a big performance at the next round to close the gap, and Nicholas Samparisi in 3rd. And Leila Nimshevich leads the way in the women's from Janina Wust and Adelaide Marat in 3rd. There you have it then, from another intriguing, gruelling day of racing from the UCI Mountain Bike Cross Country Marathon World Cup in Finale Outdoor Region. The good news is that you don't have long to wait for yet more action from the UCI Mountain Bike World Series as we decamp overnight and head to Lenzerheide in Switzerland next weekend. See you there.